This is your spaced repetition box. A clue in the front, the answer in the back, like for Quizlet. It visualizes your progress, which is good. Hi! Do you want to know one of the best ways to memorize vocabulary, facts, anything that you have to learn in a class? Of course you do, because you clicked on this video. My name's Michi, and I'm a PhD student in Second Language Studies at the University of Hawai'i at Mānoa. I've been doing some research on spaced versus massed repetition. Now you might wonder, what the heck is that? You don't really need to know much about it, but there's lots of research that says memorizing things in a little bit of repeated but spaced out chunks is a lot more effective than memorizing once for a longer time. So what I'm going to show you guys today is one cool way to help you space out your repetition, your study repetition intervals, so that you don't have to end up cramming right before your test, which is scientifically proven not as effective. As a kid growing up in Germany, we had this little box to space out your vocabulary sessions. I don't know if you had one of those, but probably when you're a college student, you definitely don't have it anymore. But that's when you have to memorize lots and lots of things. So today, I'm gonna build one by myself and at the same time tell you all the benefits of it and how it works. So let's get started. I've never built this before, but I got some flashcards. They are what your memorizing is gonna be on. And this is very similar to Quizlet. You probably all know Quizlet, but Quizlet doesn't help you with when exactly to study. So this one is gonna help you with that too. The next thing that I need is this shoebox. It's best to choose one that's kind of narrow because the cards are gonna go in here. So this one's actually perfect. And then we're gonna build this box that has 5 different shelves. No, 5 different holes. No, you'll see. But we don't need the lid, so that you can cut off, and we're gonna use it to make the inner walls. Yeah, we're gonna put 4 walls in here so that it makes different containers, little containers. And then each container will have index cards with the stuff that you need to memorize. So how am I gonna do this? I need to make 4 out of this, right? So my area of research is language learning, right? So all the research that I've done has been on memorizing vocabulary. But since you're just memorizing words, I assume it's the exact same for memorizing any other kind of facts. And for vocabulary learning studies, research has found, and without anyone finding anything else, that spacing out your vocabulary reviewing sessions is very beneficial. A lot more beneficial than just having several vocabulary learning sessions at the same time, or like right after one another. That's what's called spaced versus massed repetition. There's also studies on how long the intervals should be between vocabulary studying sessions or just memorizing sessions. And research isn't super conclusive about that, so I can't really tell you what the best intervals are. But this actually makes it not important because you're going to be studying the words whenever you forget them. Maybe it doesn't make sense now, but I'll show you. So now these have to go in here. 1, 2. How can it not fit? Oh no. Oh no. 3. Oh. Now it's just one. Kind of like this. Now I have to tape them all because they're not going to stay like this. The first box should be the biggest because that's where all your cards are going to start in, actually. You can probably make this a lot prettier, but it'll do what it's supposed to do, like this too. Trying to make them nice and parallel. Okay, first one's the biggest, this one. Now we're making a little bit smaller. Okay, maybe while I'm fixing these, I can tell you more about it. So once you know you have to study vocabulary or anything else, you're gonna be writing each word or each fact on one of the index cards, right? One per index card. Some part on the front, whatever you want to quiz yourself in the back, like for Quizlet. And then you put all your index cards in the first bin. Then when you start reviewing them, you go through all the ones in the first bin. If you know them, you can put them in the second bin. If you don't know them, you put them back in the first bin. Second time you practice, you only go through the ones in the first bin, because the one in the second bin you already know, right? The ones that you know go in the second bin. The ones you don't know stay in the first bin. Now, sometimes you might want to also review the ones that you already knew, right? Because you might forget them. This can be like after a week, after 2 days. Doesn't really matter. Just do it less often than the first bin. If you're taking a card from the second bin and you know it, guess where you put it? Third bin. If you take one from the second bin, you actually realize you don't know it anymore. Put it back in the first bin. Now the ones in the third bin, you can be pretty sure that you know them. This is it. This is your vocabulary or your spaced repetition box. Let's fill it. So I have my index cards. Oh, and I didn't keep telling you about how it works, but it's basically the same thing all the time. If you're studying the ones from the third one, maybe, I don't know, once a month or whenever you think makes sense, but definitely less often than the second one. If you know whatever's in it, you can put it in the fourth one. If you don't know, it goes back in the first one. And then this is also the same if you start adding things. That way you make sure that maybe if you're just practicing things for a quiz, you should keep those things in throughout the semester, because if you add more things to study for your next quiz, the ones from your old quiz should probably be in, I don't know, the fourth or the fifth box by then. So you don't have to worry about it much, but then maybe right before the final exam, you might want to go through the ones in the fourth or fifth bin. If you still know them, you're fine. You can put them in the very last one. If you don't know them, they have to go back in the first one. And that way you keep going back to the ones that, you know, weren't even on your recent quizzes anymore. So let's say I put my vocabulary words on here, or I put my, you know, historical facts on here with dates and what happened at that date, a clue in the front, the answer in the back, like for Quizlet. Let's say all of them are full. I put all of them in the first one. And now every day I can go through the ones that are in the first bin. If I know some of them, let's say these I already know. I kind of remembered from class. These go in the second one. These I had no idea. Oof. So I go through these again every day. I say, wow, I already knew this much this time. Obviously, every time you go through them, you're like, oh yes, I knew this. So it goes here. Didn't know it. It goes here. Yep, that's how it keeps going. And then hopefully before your quiz, everything should be here or here. And now you have a new quiz. You can add all of your new things on here. They go in here. You do the same thing. Now they're mixed with the other ones too. And that's how you can go back through the old ones. But yeah, this is what it's like. Looks pretty cool. You can also paint it. You can put some stuff on the outside. You can make it a lot prettier than mine. And I wouldn't necessarily say I loved it when I was a kid, but I'm pretty sure it helped me a lot. Obviously, the more consistent you are, the better. But I think this really helps you, and you kind of get to see it visualizes your progress, which is good. Other than Quizlet, you get to actually write things down by hand, which is definitely good for memorization. This way you get to only do the ones that, you know, you don't know yet. And you can take the cards with you right before your quiz, and then, you know, maybe the ones that were still in the first one, you still needed to know. The other ones you can leave at home. But yeah, this is how to make a vocabulary memorization box. I hope you liked it. I hope you can make one yourself. Let me know if you had these when you were a child. I know Alexis told me she has never had this before, but I don't know, maybe you have. If you did, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. If you make one, definitely also let me know. I'd love to know whether it worked out for you, whether you liked it, how hard it was to make it. And yeah, let me know if you have any other ideas for how to best memorize facts and vocabulary. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm sorry my crafting skills aren't the best. I hope you liked it. I hope you really enjoyed it. Subscribe for more college tips, for more videos about my life as a PhD student at the University of Hawai'i, and give this video a like and send it to your friends if you think they should try making one like this. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one.